Do you ever get confused between the verbs ver and vir? Yep, you and everybody else learning Portuguese. These two verbs are so similar that it's really easy to get them confused, especially when you are conjugating them. So in this video, I'm going to talk you through my tricks to help you get them right. Most of these you won't find in a book. They came from my head. Some of them are a bit weird, but hey, they work for me and they can work for you too. It's all about copying patterns from verbs you already know and then just memorizing the exceptions. That way you will have a lot less to learn. So if you need this video in your life, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I see you. You're like half of my viewers. It only takes a couple of seconds to click the subscribe button and the little bell that goes with it, and you'll never miss an episode. This video is inspired by my student Christine Stiles, who is in my Portuguese Pro program. She has seen amazing results, and honestly, when she writes in Portuguese now, I have to double check to make sure that I didn't write it. It's so good. So she said that not knowing the difference between ver and vir was driving her crazy, so let's dive in with my strategies that will help. So the first thing you need to do is to be able to tell them apart, and for that I've got a little rhyme. The one with the E is the verb to see. So that means that the other one, vir, is the verb to come. So that's that sorted. Next, we're going to look at them in the present tense. So we're going to start with the verb vir, to come. Now, if you know how to conjugate the verb ter, to have, you are already most of the way there. That's the pattern that we're going to copy for this one. So ter is tenho, tens, tem, temos, têm. All right, so vir is basically the same. Watch this. Venho, vens, vêm, vimos, vêm. So can you see here, there's only the we form, vimos, that is different because it has an I instead of an E. But that's easy to remember because it's an IR verb. So if we just memorize that one exception, we're already conjugating vir correctly in the present tense. So on to ER in the present then. This time the pattern that we're going to copy is regular ER verbs. And then, of course, we have to look at the exceptions and memorize those. So for ver in the present, it conjugates like this. Vejo, vês, vê, vemos, veem. Okay? So vejo and veem are completely nothing like I've ever seen before. So those are the two that I'm going to memorize. Then I can remember that vês, vê, and vemos, they follow the regular ER pattern. I just have to remember to put the circumflex accent or the hat on vês and vê, okay? Is this helping so far? Comment yes in the comments if it is, and if you've devised any of your own tricks to help you memorize either these verbs or any other tricky verbs, it would be great to share that so that everyone else can learn from you as well. And if you're struggling with pronunciation, don't forget I have a free download that can help you with that. It will be in the description. So what happens in the past tense? Let's start with the imperfect tense, where we're talking about repeated habitual actions in the past. Again, let's start with vir. And guess what? It follows the same pattern as ter in the imperfect. Let's take a look. Ter is tinha, tinhas, tinha, tinhamos, tinham. And vir is vinha, vinhas, vinha, vinhamos, vinham. Easy! Vir in the perfect once again actually follows a regular ER pattern. I just chop off the ER from ver and I add the regular endings for an ER verb. So this would become via, vias, via, viamos, viam. The problem is it feels like there should be an E in there somewhere, but just remember that there isn't. But it all starts to fall apart when we get to the preterite, right? Yeah, I totally agree. This time let's start with vir because it's the easier one of the two, okay? This time it's going to follow the regular IR verb pattern for in the preterite, okay? So let's take a look. Vi, viste, viu, vimos, viram, okay? All of those endings are the ones that an IR verb would take in the preterite with just the V added. So that's that. Vir in the preterite is just a sack of and there ain't nothing anyone can do about it. So let's take a look at it. Vim, vieste, veio, viemos, vieram. So the only thing I can see here is that vieste, viemos, and vieram follow a pattern. These are all the endings that an ER verb would take in the preterite. I just need to add a VI. So I'm only removing the R instead of the IR when I'm conjugating it. Vim and veio are just so bloody irregular. Those are the ones that I have to memorize because they make no sense whatsoever. So how about a final bonus tip? What about the past participle? The past participle for ver is visto. I remember this because it sounds like the word vista, which is something that you would see. So seen is visto. The past participle for vir is vindo. We can remember this because of the word welcome. Bem-vindo. So this literally means welcome. So the past participle for vir, come, is vindo. So was that helpful? Let me know in the comments if it was. And if you have a question like Christine did, then let me know in the comments and you could be featured next. I'd also love to hear if you have implemented any of the tips that I have shown you in real life. I would love to give a shout out to you in my next video. I have a free training coming up showing you the strategies that I cover in my Portuguese Pro program. So if you want to sign up for that, the link will also be in the description. I would love to see you there. Ciao for now.